we approach Veterans Day, we're taking a moment to honor those who have served. Joining us is Lacey to share ways we can show our appreciation for veterans and recognize their incredible sacrifices. Welcome, Lacey. Great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So Veterans Day is coming up, and I know there at the Arkansas Air and Military Museum, you always do something special to celebrate, and it's a breakfast. Can you tell us about that event?
So we're not open on Mondays, and as Veterans Day falls on Monday, we actually have moved our Veterans Day breakfast to this Saturday. We think that would be a better turnout as well.
Sure.
So it's just a free breakfast for veterans and active duty, and then the families, members can come in and enter the museum for $7.
Okay.
Rather than
great.
normal 10.
Oh, cool.
Now, for folks who may not have ever been out to the museum, obviously that's a discounted day. Maybe they can come and hang out. But what can folks expect at the Arkansas Air and Military Museum?
Yeah, so we actually allow you to get inside of 3 aircraft while you're visiting us, and we have a little over 2,300 artifacts in our collection. So it's just a good time to come out and learn about local veterans. All of our military displays are about local veterans, and whether they retired here or they grew up and stayed their whole lives here. So.
Yeah. When you say artifacts, what is that? What specifically does that mean?
Everything from, a little, maybe a note from a loved one while they were overseas, all the way to a multi-ton C-130. So kind of everything in between.
Everything in
Yeah,
between.
uniforms, all that.
Yeah, man, that's impressive. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why do you think having this veterans breakfast is so important?
For a lot, last week y'all were talking to Brooke about tonight's
Yes.
event. For a lot of these gentlemen and women, they need somewhere to kind of have someone to get on the same level with them. So when they come out here and they meet other veterans and they form some friendships, I think that camaraderie really helps them in long term.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. Yeah, we talk to Sheepdog Impact Assistance a lot of time about their mission to kind of get folks off the couch, right, and to go out and do something. So having a community of people is so
Right,
very
that they have things in
important.
common with and can relate to.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious, how can the community support veterans all year round?
Just by getting involved with groups like us, Sheepdog, Joy, there's a lot of groups here in Northwest Arkansas. It's actually mind-blowing how many groups there are. The best way to get a hold of these groups are just call the VA and ask, where can I help? Because there's a
Okay.
veterans home you can volunteer, and then we actually even work with a hospice group here that works strictly with veterans.
Oh, really?
So it's, there's a wide range of help you can give for the area.
So that's interesting. I didn't realize. So the VA is kind of a source for different groups that people can reach out to. Is that what I'm understanding? If you just call the VA up, they can kind of direct you on where to go and different groups. you
Yeah,
can get
they stay
involved
really
with?
tied into the community like us. So they say, hey, like when's your next event, that kind of stuff. And they help get the word get out to those veterans
Yeah.
and help us find more people to help.
Yes. Now, this isn't the first year you're having this event either, right? You've done this breakfast for a long time.
20 some odd years, I
Yes.
think.
What
So-
have you seen over the years, and what are the stories that you hear people tell about this?
So over the years, we have, during COVID, it really hurt us. We saw a drastic drop, but we are slowly picking back up. This year, we had the most sponsors for Veterans Breakfast ever. We had the Butter Biscuits, the
delicious.
Black Bear
Yeah.
Diner, Rick's Bakery, Osaga's Coffee, everybody you can think of who
That's
does breakfast in
great.
Northwest Arkansas, they are helping us out this year. So we're
Oh,
so
that's
excited for all
amazing.
that.
Man,
Yeah.
Black Bear Diner, you have to roll me out of there.
Oh,
After,
yeah.
because the portion sizes are huge, it's delicious, and you can't stop.
Get a
And they
little
bring those
wheelbarrow.
biscuits.
Those biscuits.
Oh.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
know,
So-
dangerous.
That
But yeah,
is
we hear a lot of
great.
cool stories. Last year, we got to know one of the Korean veterans who, he didn't realize he had been coming to the museum for years, and he actually started kind of talking to some of the local guys, the guys who were super involved with the museum, and we're like, oh, this is somebody we need to continue talking to.
Yeah.
So we've actually got him in for oral history and stuff like that to really keep telling the story that he had.
Oh,
That's
that's
awesome.
really neat.
I love it.
And how can we also just keep up with things that you guys have going at the museum?
Yeah, so we have Instagram, Facebook, our website. We actually have a newsletter you can get. We do 2 updates a month on our newsletter, and then just like I said, Facebook's the best place, especially when the weather kind of gets crazy. That's where we keep everything really fast updated if we're going to be open
Okay.
or not during bad weather days. We even have TikTok now, which is kind of wild to
yeah.
think about.
Trendy.
Yeah, I love that.
That's awesome.
Well, give us the details one more time on this event that's happening Saturday.
So this Saturday we are having the Veterans Breakfast from 8 a.m. to 11. We will be open till 4, and veterans and active duty get in free all day
All day
and
long.
discounted for their families.
That's great.
Great.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all for
Lacey.
having me.
Lacey,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.